Welcome to Minding My Money. I'm your host, Shawnee, and this is where the journey to financial freedom is real, raw, and a little bit fun. I'm sharing my wins, my lessons, and everything in between, $1 at a time. Now, before we jump in, let me say this. This ain't financial advice, just financial realness. Before we get into today's episode, let's take a moment to breathe and look back at how far we've come this season. We started with Welcome to Minding My Money, setting the tone, redefining the mission, and promising to keep it real about every win, loss, and lesson. Then, in Money on My Mind, we dug into how we think about money, the beliefs we inherited, the pressure to perform, and the moment we decided to think differently. A dollar in a dream took us back to childhood, to the spark that made us believe we could turn just enough into more than enough. Then came back to life, back to reality. That hard reset when the numbers stopped adding up and we had to stop pretending. In Money Part 1, I like dollars, I like discipline, we gave ourselves permission to want more and to manage it with structure and not shame. Part 2, Stack It, Don't Flex It, reminded us that real wealth is quiet, built on intention, not image. And lastly, Price Tags showed us the emotional cost of chasing validation and the freedom that comes when you stop buying to feel worthy. And now, after every mindset shift, every money lesson, every late night breakthrough, we've reached the moment to celebrate how far we've come. Because before you can build wealth, you have to rise from where you started. Today's episode is inspired by Drake's song, Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. That line isn't just catchy, it's a whole testimony. Because if you've ever had to bounce back, if you've ever had to cry over a negative balance, if you ever had to borrow, budget, or believe your way out of a hole, you know that the bottom can be a mindset, not just a bank account. My bottom wasn't a single moment. It was a pattern of overdrafts, eviction notices, and pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. But every low built something in me. Every loss taught me to pay attention. Before there was a plan, there was panic. I remember staring at my account balance like it was a bad joke, trying to make $50 stretch for gas, groceries, and maybe a little hope. That was the season where every dollar had a destination before it even arrived. No savings I had, no safety net, just faith and frustration. But that's also where I learned to see my money, not just spend it. You see, budgeting became survival, and survival became discipline for me. When the bills didn't care about my degrees, I had to hustle. I had to work extra late night shifts. And for reference, a nurse working 5 to 6 12-hour night shifts, that's not safe for the nurse or the patient. But I did it. I also, at one point, got an extra job that didn't last long. It wasn't glamorous, but it was growth because every hustle reminded me that I wasn't powerless, just temporarily pressed. And effort was my first currency at that time. At some point, I had to stop blaming the system, the job, the timing. And I had to look at me. My spending, my habits, my I'll fix it later mindset. That mirror moment stung, but it also set me free because once I saw my patterns clearly, I could finally change the picture. That's when the journey really started. Climbing out wasn't fast and it wasn't pretty, but I was stacking wins nobody clapped for. So my climb looked like this: saving money here and there, ensuring that my savings was separate from my checking, paying off debt quietly, learning from free resources such as YouTube, my local library, and a local church in my area. And these free resources, they taught me money management and that it was possible. I also was saying no when it would have been easier to say, why not? This was giving me discipline over display. So here's my thing, no one was coming to save me, and that was okay because this was my issue. So I had to learn how to catch myself. I built an emergency fund, and later on down the line, I started learning the cash envelope system. I started savings challenges. Spoiler alert, if you want to see that in action, tune into my YouTube channel and watch me cash stuff on Wednesdays. But back to the story. I also did the snowball method for my debts. But most importantly, I was protecting my peace. That safety net didn't just secure my money, it strengthened my mindset. There are lessons within the lows. You see, every no season had a message. When I couldn't afford something, I had to learn how to become content with that. When I fell behind, I learned patience. When I had to start over, I learned resilience. Nothing was wasted. Every overdraft, every reset, all of it became a blueprint. Now we here. In the song, he says, now we're here. And now that we're here, I want to tell you that doesn't mean I have made it. It means I've matured. Here for me means I bought a home. I have savings. I built discipline I didn't know I had. I'm still growing though, financially, mentally, and emotionally. You see, this isn't the top, it's somewhere in the middle, and that's a beautiful place to be because it's better than being at the bottom. So there is a peace that comes with gratitude, such as groceries paid in full, no overdraft alerts, breathing room in the budget. Gratitude, you see, turns what you have into enough and enough into overflow. Because wealth isn't just money, it's the mindset that keeps it. So this wraps up volume 1, Mindset Money Moves. We've talked about mindset, discipline, dreams, and doubt, and how all that shapes your financial foundation. You don't have to be perfect with money. You just have to pay attention to it, $1 at a time, one mindset shift at a time. Before we move into what's next, I want you to take a second and think about your own version of the bottom. What moment pushed you to change? What habit or mindset have you already outgrown since the start of this season? Maybe it was checking your balance without fear. Maybe it was setting a boundary. And maybe it was choosing progress over perfection. Whatever it was, that was your beginning. And every beginning deserves to be celebrated. So, as we close out this volume, take a deep breath. Look at where you are right now and remind yourself you didn't stay at the bottom. So, you may be asking, so girl, what's next? So, here it is. Now that we've built the mindset, it's time to move with it. Coming up next, volume 2, hustle mode. Because after mindset comes momentum. Now, you know your girl a little extra besties. So before we officially close this first volume out, I just want to take a moment to thank you. Thank you for showing up, for listening, for sharing, for letting me be a part of your financial journey, and for you being a part of mine. When I started minding my money, it wasn't about budgeting or saving. It was about healing, growing, and learning to trust myself again with money and with my life. Every stream, every share, every message of support has reminded me that this space matters, and so do the stories we share in it. If you've been inspired by these episodes, if you've laughed, learned, or just felt seen, I'd love for you to keep growing with me. Follow my journey on YouTube, where I bring everything we talk about here to life. From cash stuffing my paychecks to tracking my student loan debt payoff, one envelope at a time. You can also find me on Instagram at mindingmymoney_ and on TikTok at Minding My Money for behind the scenes moments, savings updates, and weekly motivation. This is just the beginning. We're building community, rewriting our money stories, and proving that consistency really does create change, $1 at a time. Thank you for being here for Volume 1. I can't wait to see you in Volume 2, Hustle Mode. Until next time, Budget Besties, keep minding your money and keep believing in what's possible. Thanks for tuning into Minding My Money, where every dollar has a story and every story brings us closer to financial freedom. If you felt inspired, learned something new, or just vibe with the journey, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs it. You can also catch more content and behind the scenes moments on YouTube and Instagram. Just search Minding My Money. Until next time, keep minding your money $1 at a time.